Hi everyone, my name is Catherine White. I'm Thermoplastics Director here at Plastribution. For those of you who know us well, you'll know that we produce a monthly publication called Price Know How, where we try to give you, our customers, up-to-date information on pricing and availability. This year we thought we'd try something a little bit different. We tried to be a bit quicker in terms of getting information out to you as it happens at the start of the month. So here we are at the start of February, and we're going to talk to you about what's happened to polyolefin feedstock prices and what we think that means in terms of polymer prices. So over to you, Ian, to tell us what's happened in terms of ethylene and propylene costs.
Thanks very much, Catherine. So both C2 and C3, ethylene and propylene monomers, both increased by very, very similar amounts. So just over 67 euros for C2 and 67 euros exactly for C3. This is taking sort of C3 to a record price of 13.55 euros a tonne since it went to monthly negotiated pricing back in January 2009. It's hard to say what effect this is going to have on pricing at this stage, because although feedstock prices have gone up, polymer is often driven by supply and demand dynamics. And at the moment, the supply-demand dynamics for polypropylene is very much in balance. And whilst producers will seek increases, buyers will seek to not accept increases based on the fact that we are in a relatively well-supplied market. In terms of polyethylene, whilst we've had an increase in monomer, we may see some differentiation between the different grades, again due to the supply-demand balance. And whilst we're seeing increased levels of imports on LDPE and HDPE, principally from the USA and also from the Middle East, there are logistics issues in terms of supplying them into the UK especially and into Europe generally, which is going to see some delays and potentially some short-term issues. LLDPE is restricted in terms of its availability. There's been some issues in producing, particularly without grades in the USA. So LLDPE seems a little bit tight in its availability. So LLDPE likely to roll over, some potential downward pressure on LDPE and HDPE, but it may well also roll over. Producers will probably talk increases, talking about energy costs of production, but largely I think we will probably end up in a rollover situation. Mike, would you like to talk about Brent and crude?
Yeah, I'd love to talk about Brent crude actually, and it won't be lost on you that Brent crude went up by a very similar amount, around about £53 increase per tonne. So it's probably worth just looking at what's been happening to Brent crude over the last few months, and we've seen basically this upward trend from April 20, and in the last few months we've seen this real whippiness, which has really come from Omicron variants of COVID-19, where we've seen the world economies sort of toing and froing in terms of what the impact of Omicron will be on the global economy and demand. And we're also seeing this quite close match between now OPEC production and global demand, pretty much within 3%. So that's driving oil prices. We've seen over $90 a barrel in recent days, and the expectation is to go over 100. So I think the action that we're seeing on monomers is largely a reflection of oil price through into naphtha, then through into monomers themselves, an attempt at preserving margins. But I think, as Ian said, we have to see how that then transpires into the polymer market. So with that, I'm going to hand back to Catherine just to wrap up this brief discussion in and around what's happening with polyolefin prices for February.
Thanks for your attention, everyone. If you do have any questions about the information that we've presented just now, then please get in touch with your customer service team, or indeed myself, Mike or Ian, and we'd be delighted to help you. There'll be more information available mid-month when we publish our full Price Know How publication. Thanks very much.